new flavor in your ear. Uh, hey, hey. What's happening, David? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Spy pushed up today. So did QQQ. I guess people liking what happened at Jackson Hole. I'll catch the updates later on Fox Business or one of those CNN situations later on. But back to 440. Spy is still in a head and shoulders until it breaks 444. But we'll see. AMC still coming down. I'm still expecting it to hit around $10.33. A lot of people were telling me it's not going to hit $10.33. I'm like, yes, it is. They got to fill out liquidity. They need to have people buy. We're filling out orders. So they're going to sell this off until all the orders are filled. Might not all happen today, probably over the next couple of days. But we got another 20% to go. Yeah, exactly. It's in the buying zone. So as it's going down, people are not believing it's going down even further. They're just selling it off and filling orders. So it's just going to be a slow bleed, filling up all the buy orders until all the buy orders are full. A lot of them got attacked today or were filled today. So you'll see the order block get a little bit less and less full. But it's still going to come down. So this was a lot bigger before. It started off around the 1350 mark. Now it's down to even smaller. But they're going to basically give the shorts an opportunity to get out. I think that's what this whole thing was designed for, was to give the shorts a way out. But no way to really prove that. But I told everybody this one is that, which I did a little bit of research on the naked shorting concept. It is allowed for market makers to protect, quote unquote, protect the public. So they're allowed to naked short as much as they can in order to level out the playing field. Crazy as it sounds, it is part of one of their rules. Crazy. But that is a nasty candle. Right at the perfect time, too. We were supposed to get our run, and they blocked it right at the perfect time. I know I was right. I know I was right in my prediction. But you can't predict, you cannot predict short, unlimited shares, unlimited share, being diluted into the market. You can't. There's no way. Wow. Hopefully this doesn't happen. I would hate to see it go down that low. But I'm still calling for 1033. Maybe slightly lower to sweep up all liquidity and before is a reversal. Well, here's a play for you. No, I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't say it would be that long. I'm not going to say 2 to 3 weeks. It could be a little quicker than that until we start getting an upside. But I would say probably about a week or two. About a week. I'd say more in the middle of the next week we'll start seeing the reversal part play out. We still got another 20% to go. It's about 16% or so to go. And they're not. I don't think they're gonna continue. Drop it all today. But this part is where they slow bleed it. Positive volume index has not touched yet. This is on the 3-day time frame. It has crossed down on everything on the daily time frame. It has crossed down there. So it's gonna be a little while. Yeah, it's gonna be a while before we see some upside. They're gonna hold it down there for a while, so I don't think they're gonna just shoot it back up. It's gonna take a little bit of time. I mean, it can happen, but I'm not betting on it. It'd be nice. I would like to see them actually cover down there. Like, shorts need to try to get out. I think that's what they're probably going to do, but there's no way to really be sure of that. SPY's still pushing right now. Wow. The market rebounded very nicely. Jackson Hole must have gotten some folks excited. But that is a nice bounce back. Nvidia dumped really hard, but it did hold the bull channel we've been talking about all day. Oops. Held on to the bull channel. Look at that. Perfect. Came down, broke the midline, dumped. This would have been a perfect short. Kind of held on to the bull channel, the bottom end, the green line. And now it's looking to reverse to get back up to 467, 468. If they decide not to cover, well, it's not going to look good. If nobody, well, we can't say. If they still continue to do the naked shorting and all these things down there, it's not going to look good for AMC as a company. And it would really be sad to see that. But I think they will cover. I think they dug themselves into a pretty deep hole with all of the illegal activity, in my opinion, that's happened. Even though there's no real way to prove it. I mean, the data is out there. The failures to deliver, you name it, how long they spent on the threshold list, all of that. So the self-reported short interest, all of these different things they used, they got to be cleaned up somehow. So I would more be inclined more to see them actually cover and get out and just start over and just basically restart the whole clock. You know, I think we're basically going to be starting all over again. And I don't think the squeeze in general should have happened on either on GME or AMC ever. And that was a slip up. They slipped up, and then we got that. And they're just trying to, looks like they just want to reset the clock. So it's like, all right, two boxers breaking the rules, right? Low blow or something like that, or somebody bit somebody's ear. They say, okay, go to your corners. All right, go to your corners. Let's start over again. All right, and that's basically what they're gonna do. They're gonna rewind. That's what I'm thinking. This is just logic talking, not necessarily any TA, nothing like that. This is just straight up logic. And it's like, okay, you go to your corner, and then let's fight. Let's start again. And I think that all starts from right back here, the same spot where all of the squeeze stuff happened, and then we'll start this process over again. And that's my opinion. Can we get this huge bounce off of this? It'll be a 1, 2, 3, 4, almost a 4. We'll call it a 4. This didn't really touch the third time, so I'm not going to count that. We'll call this a fourth bottom. 1, 2, 3, and it's a quad bottom. So I'm going to say quad bottom, and then we start to go. But that's because of restarting this whole process over again. So I still got to redo all my charts and everything, simply because of them kind of screwing with everything. But I'm going to wait till APE actually is all repaired. I'm just going to do this. This is nothing you can't really say that this is going to happen exactly, but that'd be nice to see. Right? That'd be very nice to see. Not exactly this. I'd see a little higher because we are still in an uptrend. Let's see. Oh, I say coin is running. Let me take a look at coin. I mean, so keeping it down there for that long, to answer your question, Dave. I would like to see something like that happen. Almost repeating everything, starting all over again. That would look possible. I mean, that's a deep retracement. Kind of getting back up into the zone, just kind of squeeze back up. It's about 100, about 15 bucks. This is about the golden pocket. So if we did that, man, that's gonna be a new low. Goodness gracious. All right. Yeah, we're basically right back to the golden pocket, so yeah, that's possible. I don't know. Who knows? That'd be nice to see. But who knows? There's no real way of knowing exactly how they're gonna play this thing. But I gotta redo all my lines again because they kind of screwed me up with this whole ape change. But that's a deep retracement, very deep. Nice job, Mackenzie May. Green week, beautiful. That's what I like to hear. Glad you guys are making money up in here, man. That's what it's all about in this group. Let me take a look at coin. They're telling me coin is running. Let me pull up coin real quick to see what's happening. Is it running down? Which way is it running? Oh, 1.67. Up, positive. As Nvidia still going. Yeah, coin is up about 2% on the day. Let's go. Let's see if SPY's gonna double top here. I don't think it's gonna run the 440. Well, it could run the 441. Goodness gracious, SPY. I mean, it went straight up. How's the volume look on SPY right now? It's looking like this is supportive volume. This is not just this ain't just a pump. This is for real. I mean, right now it's finding a little bit of resistance, but that's some nice volume to the upside. So I'm not. It's still kind of positive. Is there any time for any zero DTE plays? Jeez. Left and right. All right, let's see. Well, let AMC do what it's gonna do. Let's check out. So to hold it down there that long, I don't think so, David. Not for that long. Not for years. I would hope not. But I think this is a dirty play, and they just want to get out. And I think the only way that the market makers can restart it is to just start the clock over again at this point. HKD's just toying around over here with my emotions. Come on, HKD. I need you to break above 621. DIA, how's DIA doing? Uh, naked shorting. Naked shorting, David. Naked shorting. It was allowed. This is the market makers allowing the companies, to basically allowing shorting, like legitimately. They saw it. I predicted a run, and it was on the chart. Said it was going to run. Everything was lined up properly. I was able to predict the last 100% run that happened to a T. I also predicted that the run was going to happen where we were, and they saw where it was going to happen, and they stopped it right at the point where it was about to go. And when they stopped it is when they dropped from. This makes no sense to run down 80%, and this is just a matter of a couple days, right? So yeah, I mean that was I was able to predict that run from a mile away. It was tracking everything as far as the Wyckoff spring schematic, and it was on its way to making it happen. And then right at the point where we're about to retest and push through the second time after the second bounce, the second spring zone, that's where they flushed it. And all of a sudden we have a negative 20% day just because of. I'll find the post. Um, I posted it on Twitter. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, David, but that's exactly what I mean. They allow short selling to take place, uh, in order for the market to quote unquote keep the markets fair and to protect investors. So yeah, my take on it is that they're gonna reset the clock for everybody to have go to your corner, you go to your corner, and come back again swinging in the middle of the ring, that type of thing. Um, I'll find the article real quick. Hey, what's happening, Brian? Oh man, I see it play out the way it's supposed to play out. To me, it's a little early to call it, but you know, we'll see. Hey, what's happening, Noble? Yeah, it's been a complete circus. I mean, this has been the hardest week ever on AMC. I mean, ever. And not to mention, we had a great earnings. Earnings doesn't mean anything on this stock. It's probably been said 100 times before, but people, AMC could find a cure to anything, and it'll still go down 20-30%. It's just how it is. Yeah, but it's been a complete circus. Yeah, I went short DIA. Took a 70K loss. Yeah, I don't want to look at my account to see how much I'm down on AMC. I mean, I'm actually I've been averaging in a lot. However, it's still down, so it's not something that we're gonna look at. I'll just keep making money on other plays and I'll let it ride. It's a sleeping play in my opinion. It'll go up when it goes up. I may have to just donate it to my daughter or something. Hey, if it takes Another 10 years. There you go. College fund. Or something like that. Oh, man. I ain't selling it, though. I'll tell you that much. And it goes back up, it goes back up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm expecting it to go back up, though. Just want to let that be known, personally. Yep. And you see it's still falling. All these sell orders here. People are selling, selling, selling. It's going to go down and touch that level. $10.33, guys. Just remember I said that. It's amazing sometimes on the videos that I make what kind of comments get left. You know, people are really emotional about this play. But at the end of the day, I mean, people have a short memory a lot of the time, but when I have the things that I posted have all come true. What's up, Divine? You know it's serious. We got Sam Cooke playing in the background. Oh, man. It's a bittersweet symphony. This song in the background is another one. Yeah, it's tough down this low. But every stock that runs to ridiculous digits does have to be sold off initially. It's just how it is. I don't know why it works that way, but that's how it's designed. But I'm setting a buy order at 1033. So I'm just waiting for. I haven't bought anything else. I'm gonna do my last buy. They canceled my last one because of the changeover, so it was canceled overnight. But I'm setting my last buys for 1033, and that's it. I won't touch it anymore. I'm just gonna take whatever profits I made on other plays and just throw them back into AMC here and there. If I start seeing some kind of stabilization, and I'll start buying some calls. But right now, not touching it. Just gonna let it fall. But like I was saying before, I'm thinking this is gonna come down to 1033. And here goes my everybody loves bars patterns. This is what my bars pattern looks like. Bounce, and you start running. It'd be nice. It could hold it down there for a little longer, but this is just a quick schematic of what I think is going to happen. You go to your corner. You go to your corner. Okay, let's start over again. Fight. And then you get this repeat setup. Is what we got. You basically repeating the entire chart within this larger bull channel. This being a macro spring, a super macro spring, and you get up out of here and go again. And we probably just see a repeat of what already took place. Something very similar. It would be nice to get this parabolic move up. That would be beautiful. But that would be, again, a quad bottom. That's 1, 2, 3. This would be number 4. So that's where we're going. They're just basically restarting everything, and then we go. Hopefully that happens. Could take a little longer, could take a little time, could take a couple of weeks. But I'm looking for a move to start happening more so at the end of October. Push it back to November, December would be somewhere closer to $80, which is very possible. It'd be nice. That'd be the top of this order block. Let me move that again. Move to about $80. It'd be the top of this order block. Maybe even touching a little higher, possibly 100. But it would take some time. But I'm still leaning toward the end of the year now. It's got pushed back because of this deep retracement. Hey, what's happening, Stevie Steve? You bought at 129? What do you mean, originally? You were here for January squeeze? David? Hey, what's happening, Jerry? GME and AMC are no longer, in my opinion, they're no longer attached. I mean, the attachment is actually, uh, it's not, that's not what it used to be. It's not, they're not as combined at the hip as they once were. So I don't see GME moving with AMC. It's possible, but I don't see it moving the way they did at one point. They're gonna move separately of each other. GME is in this. We talked about this earlier on the earlier morning stream. GME is in this parabolic arc, and I expect GME to come down a lot more. All right, you see this? This is the pattern that's in. It's just repeating this exact pattern. If you look at it, this is a known pattern. NTA parabolic arc. You've probably seen this one before. Run up. It's just taking a long time to do it, but it's gonna come all the way down, and then it's gonna go all the way down to probably 10. I'm thinking possibly a little sooner, maybe 11, 12 before it does it. But there is a possibility it can come down to $5. $5, and it's gonna just go nuclear right to 40. One more time, one shot, go, and then it's gonna, that'll be the end of GME. We won't hear about GME anymore. That's my opinion, but you know, we'll see. But this is the schematic right here, the parabolic arc pattern, just on a long time frame, 4 or 5 year distribution before and one more pop. Yeah, 120. Yeah, we were right. That's on spot on. You're absolutely right, David. That's it. They got the orders got to get filled. They want this, a liquidity sweep. Liquidity sweep. We want every single dollar that's down there before you start to turn around, and that's what they're doing. Everybody's trying to get every single dollar out of this thing. The price is going to go where the money is. That's how it is. So if the price is at, if people are buying at $10, they're going to bring it to $10. They want every single dollar out of this thing. Now, what they do with it after that is anybody's guess. I'm thinking it turns back around. But we've seen how, if you've been watching the stream, we've seen how these order blocks operate, right? We've on much smaller time frames, but when you look at them, they're pretty true to belief, right? Look at Nvidia, right? We talked about Nvidia. I'm gonna take this off, just for sake of example. I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna just do Nvidia alone. We're just gonna do a single shot of Nvidia. All right. Nvidia, take this off. We talked about the bull channel Nvidia has been in, right? Bull channel, red line, red is the top, midline, and then bottom. It hit the bottom, turn right around. The order blocks also basically mean big money is seeing the exact same thing. They put their orders to purchase right at the bottom of this bull channel. So we're seeing the same thing. They're looking at it one way, I'm looking at it. So what do? They put their money where their mouth is. They put their money where they're seeing the trend. They all put up in here. Not only do they do it with a single order, there's double. These are stacked up on top of each other, meaning that this is where everybody's buying, which turns the stock around and brings it back up. So like I said, the price is going to go where the money is. If it's not where the big money is, they're not going to buy it. You're not going to see it turn around. So that's why I'm pretty positive. I'm pretty sure that AMC is going to come all the way down to that exact number before we see a bounce. And this is a smaller time frame. I think this is a 5 minute, but the concept still remains the same. Doesn't change. Let's see here. Where's my tracks? Yes, I'm still listening. Not a big fan of that. There's a track for you right here. A little Lucchini. All right. YouTube could. Let's see if I hope they don't keep cutting me off. Oh man. All right, anyways, GME is getting a little bounce, but it's just a little dead cat bounce for the time being, in my opinion. 16 is strong support. Let's see what you got here. Stevie Steve. I can't believe ABC got away with trading. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, it's absolutely correct. Remember, they have to give shares or sell shares. This is another twist on it. They gotta provide shares to people, AMC shares, as a part of the settlement. So they have to give people shares. So they have to get the shares from somewhere. So people that are weak-handed are going to sell, right, at these prices. They'll scoop them up, which is why there's so many buy orders in this area. They'll scoop them up and be able to start providing them little by little to people that are still waiting for their shares to be distributed. That's going to take. There's going to be a lot of failure to locates. There's going to be a lot of people still missing their orders, still missing their shares next week. There's no way they're going to do it by the 28th. It's not going to happen, in my opinion. It could, but in my opinion, they're gonna be slow to move on this thing, and people are gonna get pissed and they're gonna be screaming. But they gotta scream and shout. That's the only way. But the thing is, obviously, if nobody's sold, nobody's selling, where are these shares gonna come from? So you start going from the path of least. They start moving to the idea for the path of least resistance. Right? If they can't go down anymore, once they can't go down anymore, the only other way to get people to sell is to go up. You know, we're just talking about basic logic. And as you start giving people higher prices, they're going to start selling because they're tired of the pain. All right, it's like, I'm done with this. It's never going to go up. And let it go from $10 to $15. I'm done. It's not going no more. People selling at 15. Okay, let's take these shares. They'll buy these shares up and now send them over to the people that are still waiting. Because they have to fulfill those obligations of providing, for every 7.5 AMC shares you own, they still got to provide one share. So if you're sitting out here with 100 shares, they got to, so on. Some people out there have a lot more than that. So, that's just how that's going to play out. So that's what I believe is going to happen in this case. Let's see. The Stevie C says, due to AMC being knocked down 40% since it's RS, unfortunately. Well, as far as the reverse split setup, they would be 1-to-1, I believe. So what I'm looking at is once they're combined. I don't see them combined at this moment right now, because they're still not together for some reason. I don't know what's going on right now, but because we have a very, very low market cap, this doesn't look correct to me. So I guess they're still working this out. I believe that they should convert. We should be somewhere between about $26, as far as I remember. Ape closed at 140 something. So I'm expecting about a $26 share price once everything is completed. But gotta let this play out. Hey, what's happening, Divine? Let's take a look at this. I mean, the SPY is still on the head and shoulders because, Nvidia is turning around, and you know how Nvidia can carry the market. However, SPY is still on the head and shoulders until it breaks 444. So I'm not really expecting a lot just yet. I'm personally not holding anything over the weekend. I'm just gonna open up and see. Except I do have calls still on ExxonMobil, XOM, which are doing really well. But other than that, I'm not touching anything else. Not for the weekend, anyways. But as far as puts, in reality, it's at the end of the day, it's still in the head and shoulders. So puts can be still a way to look at this thing. I'm looking for, if it doesn't break 443.86, everything is kind of in a UTAD setup right now, where basically it's an up thrust. Everything is distributed, and you're getting an up thrust, like a additional push up. So from a Wyckoff perspective, a Wyckoff trading perspective, it would look like, I'll pull that out real fast. 1 second. Everything kind of looks like this right here. All charts right now, like most of the charts, are all kind of in this schematic where they have basically sold off. They've had their runs, they've upthrusted, they've sold off, and now we're getting this UTAD test. Pretty much higher highs, above resistance, and a lot of them. I'm talking about Apple, Tesla, everything. They're all kind of in this mode. And next up is LPSY's distribution. So, you know, we got to keep an eye out. And right now, the SPY is in the same situation. Very similar situation. But until it won't be clear, it won't be cleared out, in my opinion, until we get past 444 and hold it. AMC's trying to get a few legs under it right now. Let's see what we got here. No, yeah, that's right, David. 7.5 is for AMC shares. So it's 7.5 AM for AMC shares. APE is no longer listed. It's a delisted stock right now. There's nothing there. It's just, if you try to, you'll see the chart, but it'll be this. There's nothing there. So there's no longer any APE at this point. So it's now officially delisted. Yeah, Stevie Steve, I don't think they're together yet. I think they're still kind of messed up. Hey, what's up, Renee? Yep, that's one free share. It's out of here, right? Hey, Jerry. Well, as far as regular setup, I'm actually working it in right now. My schedule is gonna basically be mornings, and then afternoons into closing. So roughly between 2 to 4 on the market closing, and then from there, I'll be doing as well as the morning session. So roughly about 9:30 opening. This is all Eastern Standard Time. 9:30 to about 12 lunchtime, and then come back for the second session from 2 to 4. So that's my setup here. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe and things like that. Definitely. Thanks, Jerry. I take some trades throughout the day, usually early morning. I'm interacting with the Way Up Trading Group as well. I may here and there also throw out one or two trades that I'm taking on YouTube, but majority of the trades that I take actually wind up being specific and specified in the Way Up Trading Group. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description as well. I haven't heard this one in a long time. Let's go. All right, is any it's officially 3 o'clock. It's officially power hour. Let's see if there's any last minute anything to be done here. Any last minute money to kind of make just on some lotto. I don't recommend lottos. I don't recommend. I do them here and there. They're fun when you catch them, but you also got to really, really manage your risk. Take them very, very seriously. I really waiting for HKD to go. It had a little pop today up to fourth. Look at that. HKD is going to be a problem when it gets going, but it is in a reaccumulation style schematic right now. I've told you guys about this one earlier, but this is, in my opinion, a reaccumulation schematic. You got a large run up. You then get a trading range. You get a spring, and you get a spring test. You start to move up. You find support. You break above the trading range, and then you start to go, which I'm expecting a move to about $9 to $10 on this one. Let's see. Stevie Steve says, let's see, closing price of ape is multiplied by total ape shares. Same for AMC. HT ticker. Yeah, that's not too far off, but it's still missing. It's not all added in, so we're gonna have to wait till Monday to see what they do with these with giving up the shares that they owe us. Hey, what's happening, Luke? Got this dip. Well, as far as this dip, Luke, it's a lot deeper. They stopped it right when it was getting ready to make the move that I was predicting. I saw it, and they saw it. We all saw it. And then once it was ready to make the move, they dropped the hammer using naked shorting. That's when they did it, right at the exact perfect time when the move that I already forecasted and ran by TA exactly. And they knocked it down. I was able to call the 436 top on the nose on that date. We fell back, came back for the secondary test of the spring, and right when we were going for the secondary test, they dropped it because they know what happens next. And in that schematic, it happens over and over again. The reason that these schematics work is because they're consistent. I didn't make these schematics up. I learned these things from Richard Wyckoff, which is one of the greatest traders of all time. Right? So it's just the way the stocks move. But you have to recognize it when we see it. And I recognized it, and I saw it, and I shared it with everyone on Twitter. I made YouTube videos about it, and it was happening. And they know how it works because they are, if I can see it, they know what happens. They know how it works. So they do it strategically at the right times, and that's what they did. Right when it was about to make the move we were all waiting for. We all knew it was coming, the sign of strength move, which comes after the spring. They dumped it, which is exactly what happens after a spring of that nature. So I know it caught a lot of people off guard. Anybody who was running TA on this thing was caught off guard. There's nobody out here that saw that coming. I don't want to hear what anyone has to say, unless they're a hedge fund person themselves or a market maker or whatever the case is. But as far as the end of the year, I don't see it running that high. It could. I'm seeing somewhere around the $80 to $90 mark by somewhere closer to November, possibly December. So from here, that's a relatively high mark. That's about it would be several 700% from this location, be several 100%. But that's what I'm seeing at that point. It'll be a slower grind because they knocked it down so far. And like I said, you kind of just hopped on the stream here, but basically what I'm seeing here in this case on AMC is they're just going to restart the clock. They're going to start all over again. Everybody go to your corner. All right, we messed up. You guys messed up, because technically they think that it was unfair how we're using social media to communicate with each other and quote unquote, I guess, trade in a way where we're more knowledgeable than what we used to be. I think they just basically started all over. set up this quad bottom, and then everything, the whole cycle repeats, starts over again. And we get a squeeze up of some sort, possibly to about the $80 mark, like I mentioned before, which is about the midline or point of control on the stock. And then from there, we'll trickle around before we get a larger move sometime next year, probably into the summertime of next year. They really delayed this thing, but it was the short sellers are being given a way out, and it's being done by market makers and the SEC. In my opinion, everyone is part of this to protect, quote unquote, protect the market. I was actually trying to find the link. I posted it on my Twitter page. You probably saw it by now if you're following me on Twitter. But yeah, that's designed by the market makers. They did this in order to get the shorts that are in trouble out of their positions. So I guess it's in some cases at the expense of retail. But I truly believe we are going to have our day. Something like this is going to repeat itself. This is going to repeat itself. They just need everyone to start over. Let these guys out. Once they all get out, I have 1033 as my level, which again is the quadruple bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4 bottom, and then we might even get a nice heavy move up. It won't be in one day. It'll probably be over several days, maybe a month or two into it. So again, like I mentioned before, end of the year to about 80, not necessarily all the way up to 150, but somewhere about 80. Be nice to go up that high, $100 even. But 80, I think, is more realistic. Which from here, if anybody was buying down here, if they just got in, they never heard of AMC, they didn't do anything, and they, whoever, they just bought down here at $1 and change. Well, I got to get used to saying it. At $10, and they go to $80. That's a nice move up for anybody who buys at $10. If they're just getting in, never heard of AMC, nothing, and it goes to 80, they'd be making a 680% return on investment. 650% return on investment, just about. So you put $1,000 in for somebody that's life-changing money. You're right. And don't even start if they get calls down here, $1,000 worth of calls, forget about it. And it runs 80%. It's $80. Yeah, quick. $1,000 in. Yeah, they'll make that money quick, fast, and hurry. Yeah, a lot of people holding the bag. I mean, it's gonna get its time up, but the thing is, you gotta accumulate. I mean, if you're in the play, I know it's difficult. I mean, if you believe in the move, you believe in the stuff, you gotta accumulate. Especially at the lows. Like right now, I'm looking at this $10.85 mark. Right, I'm gonna try to do my best to make sure I'm on it and paying attention to it in order to kind of erase all of this that happened back here. I know it's not easy for everybody, but that's how we have to learn how to trade the markets to be able to play this game. Got the duffel bag, yeah. It'll come back. It'll come back. It's got to be patient with it. I know it's hard. It's easier said than done, but it'll come back. But this is what I'm looking for. I got to redo all my charts because they screwed them all up with the ape change. I mean, with the reverse split, everything is all off key, off balance now. But it'd be something of this nature. Large spring and then go. I can see us get up to 600, 700 bucks, maybe even higher. That'd be a new all-time high. Very possible. But AMC has to do its part. The only way to really do that, raise money, which is what they're trying to do. Raise money, kill debt. It's going to be very tough down here. Kill debt, get that out of the way, and then issue a dividend as fast as humanly possible. Once they issue a dividend, all of this is done. Or Adam Aaron or the entire company or whoever, all of these guys that work for the company, to do share buybacks. You buy back shares. You buy, because that just says that you believe in the company's success going forward, and it says you are interested in the company's success in the future. So it sends a message to everyone, and that usually is a positive reaction that will send the stock back up, big time. Nvidia announced a share buyback. I mean, Nvidia is a different monster, obviously, but it's giving you an example. Share buybacks can do such things. I mean, that was part of the reason that it ran to $530 or whatever it was the other day, was because of a share buyback. But this is my opinion right now. Quadruple bottom, big time squeeze that takes about a month to play out. You gotta understand that this squeeze on January squeeze didn't happen in one day. From bottom, it took several days before you actually started to see that type of movement to where it hit the highs. It took a while. The bottom was, let's call the bottom. Let me get a little closer here. Bottom, absolute bottom was on January 4th. Okay, January 4th. The entire move took a year. Goodness gracious. Move up. It took about a year. So basically, March 16th, 2020, that was the lows, which, if you remember, that was actually the COVID. COVID was announced. The shutdown actually occurred right here. That was AMC's all-time lows. It was March 19th or March 20th, I believe. So yeah, right around the COVID shutdown, it ran back up. This whole move happened. You got a second bottom, a triple bottom with a spring on below the trading range, just like we are now, dropping below the trading range, and you got a move from January 4th up to the height was the January 27th when they pulled the buy button. So that was roughly, say January 4th was the absolute bottom. So yeah, roughly about 30 days. Let's just call it 30 days for there. But you got this move from here. Big volume came in, which I'm expecting about a billion shares traded. Big volume started to come in to buy this thing back up because it was a spring action, which brought it below the trading range. And then you got the squeeze. So big volume, big time volume, multiple billions, 2 billion, 1 billion, somewhere around there. We need to start seeing that come in once it hits bottom. And then from there you get this. So that's what we're waiting for at this point. Back here the volume was a little better, but it's still negligible back at that point when COVID started to happen. You got to run up after COVID shutdowns, and you topped out in about June. So this took about, from here down, was about a 6-month period. And that was a 6-month period, but there was much less volume, a lot less things happening at that time. But even from bottom from there, 279% move. All right, it's not bad. 10 grand in there would turn to 30, 40 real quick. So, and all you did was buy at the bottom and just wait it out. It took 6 months to make 30 grand on top of your 10. It's not a bad deal. So this depends a lot of the time on where you buy, but this is why understanding the charts and things like that is so important. Yeah. Definitely expect it happens in the pre-market when people can't really react, or most retail doesn't react properly. Same way it happened with the 100% move that happened after market recently, the last couple of weeks ago. They did it after the as soon as we closed, we were at $4.40 at the time, and I'm getting messages from the Way of Trading group, and they're like, AMC squeezing, AMC squeezing. I'm like, what? Boom. We look up, we're at $8.95 or 90 cents or something like that. I'm like, wow, look at that. In 10 minutes, they made this move happen. All after hours. They didn't want to do it on that Friday. I think would have ran to 100. So that's how they play, man. What can I say? Yeah, Stevie, selling shares down here is just suicide. You can't. You might as well just let them sit there and just don't even. I don't even want to. Like I said, I'm not even looking at the account. I'm not even gonna look at that where those shares are. There's no reason to. Yeah, it was crazy. Remember, the January squeeze was the squeeze. Everything else after that was a markup. This is a Wyckoff accumulation. Wyckoff accumulation with a spring. Sign of strength. This is the sign of strength move that I was talking about that we were ready to do in this range. We were ready for a sign of strength move, which is what I was choreographing on the last couple of videos. This drop, come up, second bounce, and then you just run. And that's where they stopped it, right here. They knew the run was going to come off of the secondary test. And then what they did, they just canceled it immediately. Canceled it, dropped us down 80%. Because they knew that this movement was going to happen. This was next. That move. And that move from January, from bottom to top, was a 990% move in just a matter of days. So that's how it works. I mean, we had calls. We bought calls in the group. Calls we had on a couple different occasions, over 400%. I called those out in advance, and the people that took them were pretty happy. We didn't get the run, but even though we caught the bottom, roughly around $3.50, and those calls went about almost 400%. Twice, matter of fact. Not just that time, we also caught them a few weeks earlier for another 400%. So it's just how it works. Got to be able to read these charts, man. Let's see here. Yeah, very dirty. You're absolutely right, Renee. It's just how it works. They saw it. They saw the move. They saw what was coming next. And they was like, nope, you can't do that. And then they justify it later. Still trying to. I gotta find that link. I'll just post it up on. If you're not following me I did post it on Twitter, but I'll post it in the group real quick. I mean, in the chat box here. Let me see. Let's post it up here so I can easily. Easily access it real quick. So these are the rules of naked short selling, and I posted this on Twitter the other day. And this is basically the breakdown here. I'll get the specific area, the specific phrasing that we talked about. Bear me 1 second here. And here's the wording right here. And this is specific. It is important to note that naked short selling is not always evidence of intent to manipulate prices. Under certain circumstances, a market maker may engage in naked short selling to stabilize the market. For example, assume that there is a sudden flurry of buy orders for a stock, AMC. The market maker may judge the buying interest to be temporary and not justified by any real news about the company's prospects. It may be a result of questionable press releases or a rumor in an intent inside or excuse me, a rumor in an internet chat room, such as Twitter and YouTube and stuff like that. The market maker may choose to sell short to avoid what is in its view would be an unjustified run-up in the stock's price. In this situation, naked short selling by the market maker may protect investors against manipulation. So, in their eyes, in the eyes of the market makers, us as retail investors were the manipulators. So this was a justified naked short selling of the stock that was allowed. As crazy as it sounds. So, again, the move was there. I saw it and I was ready. And I shared it with anyone I could. But this is what happens. And this is the game we're in right now. So, just wanted to share that with you guys. Obviously, you know about the 45 days on the reg show list or the threshold list. You know, you be the judge. But I'll post a link in the chat real fast so you guys can, if you guys want to look at it yourselves. Anyways, let's take a look at the market, and the market is still pushing. Goodness gracious. And volume is coming in. This may continue a little bit. Calls are still going. Well, I don't have calls in this thing right now, but SPY is still pushing. Let me just double check something real quick. Gotta keep an eye on my positions. I mean, I don't really have anything besides XOM. And how's that doing? I might get out. It's kind of find a little difficulty here around 108. Well, those are up right now, 60%. We call myself and a couple other group members in the Way Up Trading group picked these up. They are happy. They had great days today. So I'm going to get out my XOM. I'm going to hold these over the weekend. So those are it's 108 calls. We're in the money on those. So I'm out. Take a 60% profit on that. And I just want to double check HKD, which is a share swing I'm doing, like I keep mentioning. And I think HKD is going to start to make a move. It's just a matter of time. It's a slow mover, but when it moves, this thing is a monster. Boy. Yeah, this was just insane. I don't know how many people remember this one from last year on HKD. I mean, I think it just came out. It was a very quiet stock. Nobody knew anything about it. And all of a sudden, it just started running out of nowhere. And it ran up 2,000 some odd percent. From, what was it, about 12 bucks. And it ran 2,100, yeah. 20,000%. Something ridiculous. And then it did it again in January. It didn't go as high, but I think it went to the 70s. But I'm going to catch this again. This ran the second time around 638%. I don't think it goes that high. Just recently had a little run as well. Almost touched level, about $9, but I want to see it break and go to 12, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around that area. So it's just a matter of time. But just recently, it ran up 66% in one day. Just shares, no calls. There's no option chain here. So I need to see HKD get up. Get up. Anyways. Simon says, get up. Y'all know the name. Ain't it? Thing changed. All right. So, SPY's still pushing. Until it breaks 443.86, I am not convinced of this push up. Price is actually forming a rising wedge. Let's take a look at SPY specifically. We are still in a head and shoulders pattern. I'm going to actually mark this off because this doesn't look good. But I need, yeah, this doesn't look good. Let's see. Oops, let me go back to SPY. NVIDIA is also in the head and shoulders. We talked about that earlier. Interestingly enough, it did break over the 800 moving average. Interesting. What? It's not officially a Head and Shoulders just yet. Let's see. Interesting enough. Let's take off extended real quick just to see. Oh yeah, this is a massive Head and Shoulders. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Me, how much you care. Hey, 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 hey. 1248 on AMC. Yeah, it's gonna keep coming down. It's not over yet. Oh yeah. Unless SPY breaks above 440, I'll give it a little bit more grace. That's the 45 minute. Let's do a 1 hour. And it's holding together. But it's at the end of this order block. There's no more buyers up there. Yeah, if SPY doesn't start making some moves now, if it doesn't break up, it might get a little push to 442, 443. A lot of sellers waiting to knock it back down at 443. That's the 1 hour. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Same idea, Head and Shoulders. Oh, I haven't heard this in a long time, though. Wow. Yep. And post this for you guys real quick if you're not watching. Something to pay attention to. Way up trading. Yep, AMC still coming down. Still coming down. Still coming down. Oh, still coming down. Yep. Move that over a little bit, and I'll just get everybody mad on I got everybody a little upset on Twitter. I can't call it X. I don't know. It just doesn't fit. Twitter. I've been calling it Twitter since 2008. Like, you're gonna tell me to change the X now? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah. Let's see what we can do here. Come on, HKD. You gotta stop playing with me over here, man. We know what you want to do. Just make it happen. Just do it. Don't do that. All right. Everybody's going all right out there, doing their thing, getting ready for the weekend. See what they're talking about on Twitter real quick. See what the new conversation is. Oh man. Yeah, I know you were doing. You've been doing some renovation work at the house, right? I remember you talked about that the other little while back. Hope everything's going okay with that. Let's see here. HKD. Man, just hold the smooth moving average. That's all I can ask for on HKD. As long as you're holding the 15-minute, this is just setting up for a move. Simple as that. Nice and easy. Share swing, just no stress. See, options can be stressful a little bit, but share swings, if you can catch a good share swing, you'll be all right. Yeah. That's it's a rehab deal, huh? I know about some rehab deals. I'll tell you. It's usually where a lot of the outside is quick. I mean, generally speaking, you're not if you're doing the outside and you're doing the renovations on the outside, siding, roofing, windows, those type of things. Not quick in general. Yeah, they're more costly, but they're the ones that make the appearance look really good. You know, but the inside is where the intricacies and the details got to be right. Are you living in the house or are you like trying to do something else with it business wise? Or are you planning to live there for longer term, shorter term? Another another avenue that people take on property sometimes. It's like live in flips. Kind of keep trading up. But that's the only reason that's the reason I ask. Come on. Let's see. Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, houses are work. Having a house, having a home is work. It's a beautiful thing, peace-wise, but it's a job within its own right. Well, there's a sense of peace when you get everything all straightened up for a little while, and you just kind of kick back and just finally get to relax a little bit. But it's not always those opportunities are kind of few and far between. You know, just to be like, okay, I'm done, and let me just enjoy the home for a little bit. Let me enjoy my house for a little bit. But then a few weeks go by, and then next thing you know, you're starting all over again. But enjoy it definitely. There's a peace that comes with doing yard work too. I find I do it myself every now and again, parts of it anyway, and it's just being out in nature a little bit, kind of just having some peace. So definitely enjoy that while all the weather is decent. If you got decent weather where you are. Let's see, SPY coming down back down pretty hard. It's getting rejected. It's got a little bit of yeah, this is horrible. There's no volume on this push up. I don't know, it's just pinned here. You can see these orders are sitting, buy orders, sell orders. It's just like deadlocked in this area. You might be able to get to the 200 moving average. You did get across on the 1 hour. You might be able to get to 444. Until it gets to 444 and breaks, I don't think this is not a legitimate push up until it breaks. So 444 is the number. I'd still be looking to be bearish on this thing. Well, I haven't heard this in a while. Hey. All right. Let's see. Hey, Divide. That is hilarious, man. Let it burn. Oh man, you listen to you got you listening to R&B out here, man. Just don't even look at it. It's got $2 more to go, in my opinion. $2 more. It's getting close, but $2 more to go. This is what I would love to see. Just come on down and then start climbing right back up and then squeeze back up. It's a long way to do that, but let me see my indicator, my creek finder. Oh, whoa, no cursing. Can't have that. Bus. Hold up. Oh, we gotta change this. No words. Just give me the instrumentals.
What if you could make a couple extra $1,000 a month using one little app on your phone?
Sure. All right, let's see. All right, that'll work. Just no words, please. Yeah, you see that with a block right there? It's gonna take a little while. It might bounce around $10 and about $11.13 is gonna be the first bounce area. It's gonna slow bleed into it. Then 1086, and then from there 1033, and then from there maybe a slight wick underneath it. You might even go a little lower, like 9 and change, and then you just get like a boost. That's where all buyers step in. The spring reaction is always below a trading range. It's never at the exact. It always has to kind of slip under a little bit, and then from there, it just like people just jump all over it because it's like a sale, like a what's the word, like a flash sale type of thing. Like, oh, get it now while supplies last. It's kind of like that. So everybody rushes in to purchase it when it's below regular price, or the range of price. Where if it's something, a TV's for sale for $500, and they're giving a flash sale at, I don't know, Best Buy for just today only, for a limited time only, and the price of this TV will be $150 for a $500 TV. Everybody's gonna run all at once, bombard the door. It's like Black Friday, after Thanksgiving type of situation. So Black Friday sale right there, boom, push the price up. So we'll see. But that's where I'm looking for it to go. That's why I'm buying. Not financial advice, HKD, what are you doing to me? Just squeeze. Just do it. You want to do it? Just go. It's one of the slowest stocks ever. Very small float. Yeah, definitely hope so. Let's see, 46. There are a lot of indicators up here. I'll study this craft. It's work, but once you get it, it's worth it. I'm basically putting together a whole program outside of just the trading group. The trading group is more specifically for call outs, some TA and group stuff, but I'm putting out a separate program. I'm actually setting it up and recording it and putting it together now. Teaching TA and stuff like that, the specifics that I use, and I'll be posting that up soon. It's a lot of work putting it together, but it'll be another option in case anybody doesn't want to really not really interested in the group side. At least they get to see the charts the way I see them, and hopefully that helps a couple people out there as well. But doesn't mean anything if you don't take your profits and manage your risk, which is the harder part. It's always easy to watch it run up, but then people get stuck like a deer in headlights, and then they don't take the money when it's there. I've seen it happen more and more. I've done it. I've been there. I know what it's like, So risk management is everything. Even if you just didn't take the 10%, take the 10% and run. Come back tomorrow. Don't wait for 100%ers. You don't need those right away. Those are not even really. Don't expect those. If you get them, great, but don't wait for them. Because if you do, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose that 10%. That 10% you were up is gonna turn to negative 50 very fast, or worse, 100% loss. So, I've been there too. Trust me. HKD, just go. Just squeeze. Just do it. You just go. That's it. Just break out. I would just love to see a move on HKD. Yeah, it's tough, Renee. I know how it is. I've been there. I have been there. I've lost big. I've won big, and I learned from losses. You sit back. You gotta ponder, and just realize. Look, if you get 10%ers every day, 10%. Just keep compound. Forget the 100%ers. Just take 10% wins every day. Compound it. 10%. Come back tomorrow, another 10%. Do that for 30 days straight. As long as the TA part is right. 30 days straight. Just 10% a day, and you'll see how much money you make. Starting with $100. If you compound $100 10 times over, 10% a day for 30 days straight, numbers astronomical. You start with 100, that 100 will turn into a few thousand very easily. But that's the hard part. You look at sometimes you just want to the greed gets in the way. It's it's nothing wrong with the character having that. It's not a character defect. It's just what it is. It's very easy to get kind of caught up in what's happening, and that's the downside to this whole thing. Let's see. It's easy when you just take a calculator and just do it. You know, just do it a couple times over. Start with $100. I know it's not the best setup, but $100 plus 10%. You get 110. All right, take that 110. You reinvest it. Take another 10%. Make another 10%. You got 121. Take that 121. Buy some more contracts. Add 10% on top of that. You made 12.1%. $12.10 profit. Yeah, 133 now. I mean, this can go on and on and on. But this will turn into some crazy numbers over a 30-day period. I'm not going to say and do the whole thing over and over again, but if you try it yourself, you'll see what I mean. Just 10%ers starting until you get to a certain amount that you're comfortable with potentially losing. But yeah, the greed will blow your account very fast. It's just how it is. It's designed to be that way. That's why stocks don't move straight up. They do this wavy motion left and up and down like this in order to shake people off. It's a shakeout. So you might make a lot of money here, which they know people are making money because of leverage on options. So this is why we trim contracts. Let's say we buy 10 contracts. If you can afford 10 contracts, it's cool. If you can't, 3, or whatever the case is. But if you see 10%, I trim it. I see 20%, I'm out. I'll leave one more. If it goes to 30%, that's done. I'm done for the day. I won't even look at it again. But they do this type of movement to shake off people that are buying contracts. People buy, people sell. The market's alive. So if you think it's going to go straight up, you think it's going to keep going, we got another thing coming. So yeah, it's worth it. You just make a few bucks every time. Just try it out. Just take a regular calculator, add 10%, 30 times, and you'll see why you wind up with $100 if you're just getting started on this. You know, it's really what it's all about. Taking the base hits, grow it to a sizable amount. I wouldn't even trade anything else until I get to. If I started with $100, I would trade like that for 30 days straight, and I would maybe get from $100 to let's say 10 grand, and at that point, then I'll start considering doing more. But other than that, I would stay underneath it. Maybe 5 grand is more reasonable, but you'll get if you do what I'm talking about, you'll get the 5 grand from $100 very quickly. Doesn't take long, but it's really sticking to that 10% a day. 10% a day, you got to stick with it. Show up every day, and just stick with the plan. You are going to take losses here and there. It does happen. However, if you stick to the plan, you'll make it back. Don't even look at the chart. Just, am I in? Okay, I'm in. 10%. Go. Just look. I specify crosses. Very easy to play. 921 crosses above the 200 moving average. Calls. 920 run cross to the downside, up below the 200 moving average, puts. And very easy. Take 10%, walk away. Take 10%, walk away. Yeah, it can be leaving runners behind is what I usually do after I get a certain percentage, or I'm almost out of my contracts. Let's say if I have 3 contracts, just for sake of argument, I'll leave one more to see if it continues to go. But you have to be okay with losing that last one, because that last one can go to 0, but you have dramatically cut your risk because you already sold 2 of them. So 2 of them made you money. You're only risking losing 1, which is going to be a dramatic risk, a lot lower risk if that one goes to 0, because there's a possibility that you get a candle that just goes the opposite way, and next thing you know, you take a loss in that last contract, but at least you put some money in your pocket, which helps you save on the losses. And it's all about being more of a defensive trader than it is being an offensive trader, and that's why taking profit is so important. Even if you're almost about to take a loss, take your dollar back. It's yours. You can use that for another one. What was one that happened? One the other day we were in the group, we were going over. It was we did this. This is maybe like 2 days ago. Oh boy, what stock was it? Boy, I can't remember what stock it was now. Look at so many of these charts. It was Oracle. It was Oracle. That's what it was. Oracle. Just for an explanation of what I'm talking about, Oracle was doing fantastic, and we got in calls. Myself and a couple people in the group got in some calls. Made some good money from here all the way up to 120. It was great until this happened out of nowhere. If we didn't cut contracts here, take profit 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. 75%. If we didn't take contract and sell right where it was at the top, like, hey, we're getting greedy now, this would have happened. This would have wiped out your entire gain, and you would have been in the negative, in the red. This thing went from out of nowhere. This is what we call FU candles, right? They happen. So you have to protect yourself by taking profits throughout the move, or else you get these. And this right here, you would have been up 100%, probably 75, 80% on your position. And right here, this move right here, you would have been negative immediately. Your whole position would have been wiped out. You would have been probably taking a loss, about 80, 90% loss just on this one candle. And that's how the stock market works, because they know that these moves are not sustainable, and the smart money will get out when moves like this happen. So be careful with these. Take your profits, leave runners, take it from there. What? Ding, ding, ding. That is the day. AMC finished out where today? Just going to make a double check. 1243. 1243 on the day, minus 13% down. And we got another $2 to go, in my opinion. So we'll see. But hey, listen, everybody, I want you guys to enjoy the weekend. Appreciate you guys joining me today on the stream. Try not to look at too many charts. Just enjoy whatever you guys are doing this weekend. Appreciate you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, share this thing with somebody down the line if they interested in taking a look at what we got going on here. I'm going to be back on Monday. All right. Definitely enjoy. And I appreciate you guys spending time with me here. All right. Take it easy, y'all. Peace.